Okay, I'd like to call the council meeting for November 1st, 2021 to order. And then start the flag salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilor Eater.
Here.
Councilor Wall.
Here.
Councilor Astorga.
Here.
Councilor Donahue. Here. Councilor Ott.
Here.
Councilor Hilbert.
Here.
Councilor Vasquez.
Here.
Mayor Black.
I'm here. Okay, number 4, presentation, yes. Announcement, we don't have anything there, is that correct?
That is correct.
Correspondence,
No correspondence either.
okay. Okay, appearance of interested citizens.
Yes, I did have 2 people who contacted me, wanted to speak tonight. The first person being Diana Kirkham. Diana, if you're on.
Hello, this is Diana. First off, I want to thank you for the opportunity. I just have one concern on the parking ordinance, and I would like to thank Chief Daniels for all the work he's done on this. My concern is on the 70.59, the 3-day limit. It's not on 1, it's on 2 where it covers the residential vehicles. Does that cover them to not be able to park on their lawn at the front door of a residence? Where they're parking in the landscaping and right on the lawn in the yards?
I'm getting that. It's on page 31 of the packet.
So Diana, could you ask the question one more time, please? I'm sorry.
Does it cover them not being able to park their cars and pickups on in their landscaping in their front yard where they park on the lawns by the front door?
So this would cover motorhome, utility trailer, house, vacation trailer, boat trailer, truck with camper livestock trailer on a street or parking strip. The parking strip refers to the strip of grass generally between what would be the end of the pavement and the beginning of the sidewalk. And then, of course, we have another ordinance about parking on the sidewalk. Or public park or right of way for a period of more than 3 consecutive days. And the right of way is generally, if there's not a sidewalk, there's generally usually a strip of land beyond the pavement, one side or the other, which is still considered city right of way. That could be anywhere between 36 inches and perhaps even 72 inches, but it kind of depends on the width of the roadway.
Okay, this is them parking directly. There's a few residents that I see on a regular basis when I walk that park their vehicles. There's the driveway and then they'll go and park on the lawn by their front door.
Well, if they're parked on private property, that's something completely different. So if they're on their,
Okay,
on their property, but not, in the parking strip or on the public right of way, that would be something on their own piece of private property.
okay. I just wanted to get a little clarification on that.
Sure, thank you.
Again, thank you for working on this project because you are very aware of what goes on Spruce Street with those few vehicles that are permanently parked there and play the game of moving every few inches just to beat the 3-day limit. So again, I want to thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Okay,
All right, the next person that wanted to speak was Susie Morris.
okay.
Oh, no, excuse me, Colleen Byron first.
Colleen Meyer, okay. Colleen, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to address the City Council tonight. While I do not currently reside in Mount Angel, my husband and I have both lived in Mount Angel in the past. We have strong community ties to Mount Angel. Am I breaking up? Hello?
Keep going.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what that was.
Okay. We have strong community ties to Mount Angel, and we consider it our hometown. I wanted to address the town council tonight on the matter of the Stand for Freedom draft resolution that was presented to you by the citizens of Mount Angel at the September meeting. I would like to urge you to vote in favor of adopting this draft resolution for our community to protect our constitutional rights in cases of emergencies. The Constitution, which every elected official has sworn to uphold, enumerates rights that cannot be taken away by the government, rights that are self-evident: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Are people to be considered free who are not allowed to make their own health decisions, to run their businesses in the way they see fit? Are they at liberty to pursue happiness when not allowed to attend a graduation, a baptism, or a funeral? The Fourth Amendment to the Constitution further enumerates, quote, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, unquote. Are people secure in their persons when they are forced against their will, even at the risk of their own health, to cover their mouth and nose in public? Or when they are intimidated into being injected with a drug that is still in its phase 4 trial stage and for which there is no long-term data? If people choose to wear a mask or get a vaccine, let it be their own free choice, free of government-induced coercion. This last July, Dr. Marty Makary from Johns Hopkins wrote in the Wall Street Journal that, quote, the news about the US COVID pandemic is even better than you've heard. Some 80% to 85% of American adults are immune to the virus. More than 64% have received at least one vaccine dose, and of those who haven't, roughly half have natural immunity from prior infection. There's ample scientific evidence that natural immunity is effective and durable, and public health leaders should pay it heed, unquote. To echo a statement from a previous public comment, is there a health emergency in Mount Angel above and beyond what might be expected during a flu season? As with every community, Mount Angel has members who are immunocompromised. Why not facilitate them in their efforts to take extra precautions, should they wish to take them, and allow the majority of the population who are not immunocompromised to live their lives freely, as guaranteed by the Constitution? Why are we still not allowed to return to normal for a virus which, for the vast majority of the population, has over a 99% survival rate, according to the CDC? All who participated in Mount Angel's Oktoberfest in September were required to wear masks, yet very few did. At St. Mary's, the vast majority of the congregation do not mask. Regardless of how the council votes tonight on this resolution, it is very clear which way the Mount Angel residents have voted. Thank you for your time. Yes.
I'm gonna have to cut you off here pretty soon. Are you
Yes,
just about done?
I wrapped it up. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Colleen, did you please state your address for the record?
Yes, my address is 7983 82nd Avenue Northeast, Silverton, Oregon, 97381.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Appreciate it. Is that,
That was the only people that had contacted me wanting to speak. I did have somebody call me today, Susie Morris, who also wanted council to vote in favor of the resolution, that Colleen just spoke about, so.
okay,
That was all that I had.
okay. Thank you. Item number 7, review accounts payable and our financial quarterly statement. First quarter. Okay. Shelley, anything?
I did. What are the challenge coins for the OPS cadets?
Every year, the cadets are given a challenge coin for coming here and spending their time in Mount Angel. They don't individually make a salary, but October Fest pays them usually their unit a little something for working here.
Okay.
But it's kind of a
Well, thank you.
little thank you on behalf of the city, which is subsequently billed to October Fest.
Nice. Is that the pocket knives?
And they're the same thing,
It's the
only
same
for police officers.
And does that every year?
Yeah, so up until this year, we've been doing coffee mugs, which are another about $8 a piece. And I was able to save quite a bit of money this year by going with the knives as opposed to another coffee mug.
Yeah.
And the last time we got challenge coins was prior to my employment here. So it was all originated by the previous chief.
Helps get them back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I just wondered because I wasn't here last year before, well, I guess we got voted in about that time. But I didn't know if that was a regular thing that came up after Oktoberfest, so, yeah, thank you.
So,
Thank you. Anything else, Cheryl?
No, that was it.
Okay, thanks. David? Good, Brett? I'm good. Now, Pete?
I'm just curious about pocket knives too, but I don't know the answer.
I heard overwhelmingly that folks didn't want another coffee mug. But
Totally get that.
coffee mug knives. So,
Uh-huh.
Good job.
and I did great.
Tony? Good. And,
Who the others?
yes,
No.
I apologize. I can't read my own name, so. I've got one item. First appears on, and it's kind of on page 4 of the packet. And it's the knives, but then it also appears in the credit card statement on page 11. And I'm not sure if it's listed here just to list it and then paid for, or if it was paid more than once, or what happened.
I can speak to that, Mayor Don.
Okay,
Yes, we did accidentally pay it twice. An invoice directly from the vendor was turned into accounts payable, which was paid. And then the company also got paid through the credit card. So they notified us. We have already received that check and we have deposited against the double payment.
okay, well, you're not trying to hide anything, I know that, because it's on the report, so thank you for that, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then anything on the quarterly report or? Anybody, quarterly report? I just had a question on page 13. And it says revenue, commercial development or develop. And it's 309.1%. And I just wonder, does that mean we're rich or we're really poor? It's the revenue.
So when we receive more revenue than we expect, it shows as a negative. But that is we received 309% of what we budgeted or expected to receive.
Okay.
And that amount of money is from the type B permit that was submitted by the second development over in Wachter Meadows.
Okay. I knew you had the answer, Tara. Thank you. Okay. Do we need to do anything there? We just need to look at them, right? Okay, number 8, consent agenda. October 4th minutes. Any comments? If not, looking for a motion.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilor Wall and a second from Councilor Astorga to approve the consent agenda.
Counselor Vasquez,
Aye.
Counselor Hooper,
Aye.
Counselor Eater,
Aye.
Counselor Wall,
Aye.
Counselor Astorga,
Aye.
Counselor Donahue,
Aye.
Counselor Ott,
Aye.
and Mayor Pluck.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, unfinished business number 9A and B, I guess. I had a chat with our interim city manager, chief, and I've got some issues that I'd like to talk to him about on ordinance 769. I don't want to drag you all through my convoluted notes, and it's just going to take time to sit down with him. But my question is, and Pete, you're going to have to help me with this, can we do a first reading on this, the way that it sets, adjust it if we need to, and then bring it back for the second reading next month?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I guess that's what I'm gonna ask for. If we have, maybe have to make a change.
Mr. Mayor, on the recommended motion, you could simply delete and second reading and just make it perhaps a move to approve first reading of ordinance of both of them. We can do a second reading next month, or next council meeting. If you'd like for both.
But we can do the first reading now, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Page 27.
Thank you.
And the wording is to approve first and second reading of 769 and 770. So as Chief said, you could just cross off the second portion and move back.
I move to approve the first reading of ordinance 769 and ordinance 770.
Second.
I have some questions on
Okay.
770.
Okay, David and Ray. Okay, so we have a motion. Counselor Hofer and a second, Counselor Eater, for first reading for 769, 770, is that correct? Okay.
Counselor Ott,
Oh,
you have to read I think we can do a first reading, correct? So at least the title.
So do we vote and then or read it?
I think we should actually, these are separate ordinances. I think we should approve each of them separately for the record, so it's in the record.
Okay. So what do we do with the motion that's on the table now?
I'll read ordinance number 769 by title. And then we can vote on that for first reading.
Yes.
Okay, so this is an ordinance amending the Mount Angel Municipal Code, Chapter 70, traffic and parking regulations, adopting a revision of code by removing subsections 70.55 through 70.61, and adopting new language causing renumbering of subsections 70.55 through 70.99. And I'll move to approve ordinance 769 on first reading.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. What do we need to do? Is yours an amendment that we vote on first?
Well, that would get us through 769.
You see my quandary here, though?
David should probably just
He
reset.
should resend his vote.
I'll rescind my motion.
Okay. Okay, so we're good to vote on,
We need a second on.
we have one from Council Reader.
I'll second.
Okay, now we can do the roll call. Counselor Ott,
Hi.
Counselor Vasquez,
Aye.
Counselor Hopper,
Aye.
Counselor Eager,
Aye.
Counselor Wall,
Aye.
Counselor Astorga,
Aye.
Counselor Donahue. Aye. Mayor Cloud.
Aye. Okay. 770. Pete, did you say you had an issue with,
Yeah, I just have a couple.
okay, are there things that we can talk about tonight?
Yeah, because I just want to bring them up tonight because we're going to have for second reading probably. and we
Okay,
can make the change. So, and I think it's page 6, 7, 9, a couple of times on page 9, we refer in this ordinance to the community development director having responsibilities. And we technically don't have a community development director by that title. And I think the appropriate to, since the city manager is responsible for staff, or the city manager, to insert city manager title in those sections. And then the section of summary abatement, it lists a number of titles of positions that we don't have either, so. Those are just, technical issues.
okay, then where do we need to go here?
You need to move to vote for an addendum. You need to amend it.
And Pete, was that a motion to amend it?
Sure.
Okay,
So is that just a motion to amend or a motion including the first reading?
Okay,
Because they're having to make it clear
I think all we need to do is just direct staff to make those changes in the second, for the second reading that I mentioned.
okay,
And I'll read this ordinance again by title. It's ordinance number 770, an ordinance amending the Mount Angel Municipal Code, chapter 97 nuisances by adopting new code. And I'll move to approve ordinance 770 on first reading.
okay. So we have a motion by Councilor Wall and a second by Councilor Astorga.
That's second, yes.
Is that correct, Tony?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
that. Counselor Donahue. Aye. Counselor Ott.
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez.
Aye.
Counselor Hopper.
Aye.
Counselor Eager.
Aye.
Counselor Wall.
Aye.
Counselor Astorga.
Aye.
Mayor Flat.
Aye. And I apologize for the stumbling, but this is important to me, and I don't want to make some sort of a tactical error here and end up getting it thrown out, whatever. So thank you for being patient with me here. Okay, so we're ready to move on then. Unfinished business, resolution 1546. Supporting the protection of constitutional rights during emergencies, and let's see, Colleen Meyer. And who was the other person that spoke in favor of it?
She doesn't speak tonight in favor, but she did call me. Her name was Susie Morris.
Okay.
Colleen is not a resident of the city of Mount Angel.
Okay. Okay. Discussion?
Of course. I actually have some prepared remarks I'd like to read to the council.
Okay.
So I'm going to vote no on this resolution, and I want to explain my vote. Let me begin by saying I support vaccination and masking in public places where it is not possible to socially distance. But that's not the reason I oppose this resolution. I've had countless discussions with people I consider friends who oppose the mask and vaccination mandates. From these discussions, I've come to the conclusion that they are not going to change my opinion, nor can I change theirs. The discussions are tiring and they're not productive. While we disagree, I respect each person's right to their opinion. In two of this resolution's whereas clauses, it states, whereas local elected officials swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Oregon. And another, it says, whereas the city of Mount Angel believes that all provisions of the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Oregon must be upheld without exception, and that public officials should not pick and choose those provisions to be recognized, and so on. In addition to those provisions, there are several other references in the resolution to the law and the Constitution. And it's precisely those clauses and references that make me oppose it, and I strongly urge my fellow city councilors to do the same. Hardly a day goes by that we don't read about some court challenge to governor's executive order, both in Oregon and in other states. There may be some, but I am not aware of any that have decided executive orders designed to protect the health, safety, or welfare of the public are unconstitutional. Further, neither a city council nor a citizen have the power to declare something unconstitutional. Under the Constitution, only the courts have the power and authority to declare something unconstitutional. So by approving a resolution of this nature, I submit that we are violating the Constitution and our oath of office. I refuse to do that and hope that my fellow councilors will do the same. It's okay to oppose any policies the governor mandates. I was on a conference call every week for over a year that included the governor's office. I strongly disagreed with some of the policies that were discussed. It's also okay to voice an opinion that you believe something is unconstitutional. But none of us, and particularly the Mount Angel City Council, has the authority to declare an executive order unconstitutional, and I urge the council to reject this resolution. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Council President Wall. Okay, anyone else? Speak. Very well, but me. Took all my bullet points.
Sorry. But I'll sleep better tonight. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Call for the question. Okay,
No, we are not required to make a motion on it. Nobody wants to.
okay. Do I hear a motion? Motion for resolution 1546. And being none,
Being none, that just puts it to rest.
okay?
What are the recommendations for this? I didn't see it on here. Different package.
Page 56.
Oh, there it is.
You got it, Tony?
Yeah, sorry. I move to approve resolution 1546, a resolution supporting the protection of constitutional rights during emergencies.
Okay. I'm looking for a second. I'm looking for a second on Councilor Storia's motion. No second. The motion fails.
Yes.
Lack of second. Okay. Thank you all. Okay, next item, 9D, dog. Comcast franchise agreement. Chief, can I turn that over to you?
Sure. Council, we've been approached on several occasions by Comcast in regards to obtaining a franchise agreement with the city of Mount Angel. The Comcast currently has and has been negotiating a contract with the city of Silverton and also the city of Woodburn in order to provide internet, television, and telephone type services to customers in those locations. They're very eager to enter into a franchise agreement with the city of Mount Angel so that they can actually push their cable or whatever it is from Woodburn to Silverton at this time. So I have spoken with their representative at least twice on the phone and we've done some emailing back and forth. This is an issue that first came to us a number of months ago. And was brought to you guys, I believe, at the May 3rd council meeting. Previous city manager had our city attorney look at the original draft franchise agreement that Comcast drew up. And our city attorney looked at that. It was a very well written document at all. And they subsequently have submitted a second one. But it just kind of all stalled out when former city manager left employment with the city, sorry. I've reached out to our city attorney and had a phone conversation. Colby Kemp was with me as well. We talked to him about what we should do. And the thought from the city attorney was we could go one of two different ways. We could create a city ordinance in regards to, allowing businesses access to our streets, our right of ways in order to put, subterraneous lines and that type of thing in ground. In essence, right of way permits, a different kind of ordinance. Or we could do what we've done in the past, which is create franchise agreements with different types of vendors, like we have with Direct Link and Wave and those folks, Northwest Natural, et cetera. So what we bring this in front of you for is I have had that conversation with the city attorney. There is a more recent draft of a franchise agreement that he has. And I'm looking to get guidance from council to see if you would like staff to continue moving in the direction of coming up with a franchise agreement so that possibly we can offer Comcast services certainly to the people here in Mount Angel, but then also grant them access so that they can reach the city of Silverton, or whether you would like us to look into this ordinance, or would you like us to not do anything at all?
Okay, thank you. Any comments?
I'd like us to pursue the ordinance because it's up to date. There are changes all the time in what you can and can't do with franchise agreements, so. And then I also think, I like the competition, so I want us to pursue bringing Comcast in the community, so that's my opinion.
So you're saying it would be better to do an ordinance?
If we do an ordinance and a franchise agreement at the same time,
Oh,
then we can get the ball rolling.
so both?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give Comcast a leg up. If we wrote an ordinance for them, you know, then they think that they own the world and, you know, come rolling through here. But with a franchise agreement attached to it, that makes sense.
And the ordinance would apply to other franchises as well, so in the future, everyone will be on the same page.
The existing franchises already, they're already there.
Yeah, we have one with PPD, with Northwest Natural, we have one with
PG,
Rockland,
Directly.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone except Comcast.
was there about 5, 6,
Yeah.
something like that?
We even have one with the disposal company too, so.
Okay, I would agree.
Well, then, I will have another conversation with the city attorney about doing both. Okay, and, we'll see what they have to say. During my conversation, it was kind of a either or thing, it wasn't a both, but, we'll talk to him and see what he's got to say, and, if he needs to come and speak with council, then we'll make that arrangement, for the next council.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment on that? Not 9C. Designating property tax lot 061W10BA 12500 as surplus, resolution 1547, an action item. And Chief, can I throw this back in your lap? I know you've been the head negotiator.
Well, I've been the guy who's been trying to determine what the process is and to make sure that we're headed down the right road as a city, as opposed to just going out and doing something that we'll regret later. So, as I discussed in the CAF here, we all know that this is kind of a triangle shaped piece of property just south of the business known as Burger Time. Oregon's recognizes it as Burger Time LLC. But in essence, for Mount Angel folks, it's Burger Time. They have certainly requested that we consider selling them the property. Staff cannot find that there are any disadvantages to moving forward with creating this piece of property as surplus. There are many advantages. Declaring this parcel as surplus will allow for potential development of the parcel that is currently not being utilized by the city of Mount Angel for any critical municipal use, and put this parcel back on the tax roll. Future revenue from this disposition of this piece of property can be placed into the general fund. And there could certainly be cost savings to the city of Mount Angel for operations and maintenance of the property if it is liquidated as surplus. So staff can find no downside to moving this particular parcel as surplus. And then by moving ahead and entering into negotiations with anyone who wishes to purchase the property, our first choice would likely be Burger Time.
Okay. Comments or questions? Can this be reversed? If we declare it surplus, we negotiate, and we don't like the contract or we can't negotiate, can we reverse this?
It allows us to move forward, but it doesn't require us to move forward.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. And that's,
I mean, we could wait 50 years and never sell it, even though it's declared surplus.
okay. Because there's gonna be a public hearing sometime as we move through this, and, you know, I'm just anticipating no one showing up, but we could have a council chamber full, and we want to do the right thing by our community.
Yeah, so as the process was explained to me by the city attorney, and as we've talked about, you know, this is the first step, then the next step would be to negotiate any possible deal. And then certainly I would imagine we'll probably have an executive session to discuss any negotiations that we need to discuss at that point. And then after the executive session, it would be proper to have then a public hearing based on potential sale of the property, if that's the direction that we were going. And then council could take official action on the sale at that time.
You mentioned Burger Time as the first choice. There are no other ones. Interesting.
Right, I'm not aware of anything else.
Okay.
I move to approve resolution 1547, declaring certain real property located adjacent to 450 North Main Street, Lorraine County Tax Lot number 061W10BA 12500 as surplus.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Counselor Hofer. Second by Counselor Ott.
Counselor Wall,
Aye.
Counselor Storda,
Aye.
Counselor Donovan,
Aye.
Counselor Ott,
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez,
Aye.
Counselor Hopper,
Aye.
Counselor Eager,
Aye.
Mayor Flex.
Aye. Okay. Thank you. Moving on to item 10, new business. Anything been added? Chief, anything added to new business or anything?
No, I have no new business for the council.
Okay, well, we'll just turn it over to city manager's report.
Okay, I just want to let you know some of the things that, of course, you've got a whole meeting agenda of things that I've been working on, but in addition to that, of course, working on 3 personnel evaluations at this time. Overseeing our recruitment for police officer currently. We have a lateral person in background. He unfortunately was not able to complete the entire police academy, so I'm actually hoping that we're able to pick him up because he does have some good experience, but he will have to attend, if not the whole academy, at least the part that he missed at the academy if we're successful in getting him hired. We are, in fact, still anticipating another opening. And because of that, we are testing for recruits beginning on the 6th of November. We'll be having the written test in this room on the 6th and then testing them, doing the physical agility testing in Canby. And then we'll be conducting oral interviews at some point in the future. Our Safe Routes to School grant cooperative deal with the school district and ODOT continues to move forward. In fact, before this meeting, I left the public meeting, which was being held on Zoom to give the public information about what that grant is all about. There's a few things that we have to do before there's actually a plan put together for each one of the schools about creating safer routes to the schools for people to walk, bike, or even drive. One of those is called a walk audit. And so we will be conducting walk audits at each one of the schools. And that's a little misnomer for, there are at least 4 to 5 different locations surrounding each one of the 3 schools here in Mount Angel that will be conducting those audits at, to see the behavior of the kids, and this will be looking at dismissal times, to see the behaviors of how they're getting home, what are they using, are they in fact using the sidewalks, they're walking down the middle of the street, are they riding bicycles, are parents driving them, how are they crossing Main Street, all those types of things we're going to be looking at. The first one will be actually Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, for dismissal at the elementary school. And then the middle school will be done on Wednesday, the 10th, and I'm hoping that we're able to do the high school at the same time. So we'll continue to move ahead with that. Like I said, there was a public information meeting being held on Zoom concurrently with this meeting tonight. Just to let you know, a couple other things. I've been contacted by the new president of the senior center board. And she wants to discuss apparently an issue with the electrical panel. And I haven't been able to get back in touch with her, but we need to continue to work forward with that. And once again, that kind of brings back the whole topic of, we have no rental agreement with them. We have no lease agreement. And so I'm likely to mention that with her once again and see how we can move forward and address attaining a lease agreement with the senior center that will cover a lot of these things that they keep bringing up. We are in fact doing some carpet cleaning in there, but that's as a result of some ceiling that fell back a while back and caused a little damage, I guess, to the floor that needed to be cleaned up. That was paid for by insurance, so we'll be taking care of that issue. And then, as I'm sure you're aware, with the embers that came off of our fire, we had a brand new roof that was installed on the senior center. Well, those embers melted little holes all over the roof, and so we had CIS come out and do an estimate with their adjuster. They have approved replacing that roof once again. Because it's literally got hundreds of holes in it, and it just wouldn't be right to go around and patch hundreds of holes, especially if we just wanted to. And we're actually in pretty good shape as a result of that particular insurance recovery. So Tara is busily working with our roofer to reschedule that roof re-roof application. We continue to deal with a couple traffic issues around town. One has to do with Alder Street and speeding. We put significant effort into setting up on Alder Street. In fact, I sat up there just this last week for 45 minutes and could only find one car barely over the 25-mile-per-hour speed zone. I did my best to hide over, and I got a lot of people coming out of the neighborhood that was complained about, and I couldn't find anybody speaking, but we're going to continue to work on that issue in the event that you folks hear something about that. Something I would like to mention is that, you know, we have quite a bit in ARPA funds that are being awarded to the city, as we're all aware of. And so we need to start thinking about how we're going to obligate these funds. And this is something for you to think about, nothing for you to decide on tonight, but whether or not you want to form a new committee or use an already existing committee, perhaps provide input about how those ARPA funds need to be spent within the community. But Tara asked me to bring this up with council tonight, at least get you guys thinking about how you would like to spend those ARPA funds and what kind of community involvement we would like to assist you in making those recommendations and those decisions.
And remind me what money we're talking about.
Well, hey, Tara?
It's American Relief.
American Rescue Plan,
American Rescue Plan funds, yes.
the $800,000 that we're giving.
Okay. I thought that was supposed to be slotted for Railroad Avenue, I thought.
No.
We never approved it, but I thought that was kind of where we were headed with it.
No, that's something completely different. Railroad Avenue is something completely different. We are currently getting a grant for Railroad Avenue, but there's some twists and turns with that, and I don't know everything about that, but I'm trying to learn as much as I can and make sure that, once again, we're headed in the right direction.
Well, I think one of the groups that should meet is our infrastructure committee. Maybe from that, we can come with a recommendation to council. And because a lot of that money is infrastructure money and could be at least. And anyway, be able to come back to council and talk about it after we get a chance to look at that.
Okay. Well, Tara's still on board, so I'm sure she heard what you said. But we'll chat about it.
Okay.
I would love some of those funds to go for something like a bottle job. Do the recycling center.
Yeah, and there's a specific outline about what those funds can be spent for. And off the top of my head, I can't give you all of those bullet points, but we will need to stick very closely to what those funds are allowed.
There's some good information on the League of Oregon City website about the use of those funds. So I'm gonna search a little bit, but it's there.
Mr. Mayor, that would be all I have
Okay,
to provide to you folks tonight.
thank you very much. And let's see, next thing we have is counselor committee reports. Just go around the room here, Shelley.
I have a couple of League of Cities meetings that I registered to listen to this week. How cities partner with chambers. There's a women's caucus meeting on Friday, and next Wednesday, it's the small cities meeting, their quarterly meeting. I was gonna try to log into that too. Sometimes Zoom works for me at home, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I have conflicts with preschool because it tends to be 11 o'clock during the midday, so I'm gonna try to log into those 3 meetings and see if I can learn.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you. David?
Got anything?
Think about it. Right? Huh? That's okay. Right?
As you know, I missed the last meeting, but where are we at in the speed reader signs?
It's been, well, the speed trailer has been ordered. So just a matter of how soon can they build it and how soon can they get it? We signed a document today saying that we have access to a forklift and can pick it off the trailer.
And what was the cost roughly?
17, just a little over 17,000.
Thank you.
Smell?
I guess I'm very proud of the community for their support of the fire victims and raised a heck of a lot of money in a very short time. And Scott Stokely was part of that, planning it, and he did a great job along with others, and just shows how well the community comes together in time and bad times.
Yeah.
It was really successful.
Heard nothing but positive, that's good. And a good number as far as the money.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
in regards to that, on behalf of city staff, I'm one of them, and there are a number of us that attended that night. Thank you very much for supporting us and sending us to that night of community. It was an awesome experience, an awesome evening, and if anybody was remotely close to that, you really saw the true definition of community. You know, I've been preaching community policing for a lot of years, but I'm here to tell you that was what community is all about. So I just want to say thank you very much for sending city staff and using what funds you have in that account to support this cause, but then also to say thank you to the city staff who worked very tirelessly to get us through a pretty rough time on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Tony.
Not much to report. I just wanted to ask Chief and the council, if maybe we could do kind of like what Silverton has, those little lights that flash when a pedestrian's at the crosswalk. Let drivers know, because at night, some of those crosswalks aren't lit very well. And, you know, I've seen people, even during the broad daylight, they won't stop for the kids crossing there at Elmer and Markham. That's a very dangerous one right there, that people just don't stop. And it's terrible, and that's where all the, you know, that's probably gonna come up in your sidewalk study. But I see kids there just waiting, and you'll see 4 or 5 cars zoom by and they don't stop, and they don't care. So that's one of the ones where I think we could invest some of that ARPA money too, is possibly putting in a light or something there, those little flashing yellow lights that says, hey, we have kids in the sidewalk, or, you know.
There's actually, we need to post it on the city website, but there's a survey that they're taking, and it has to do with the safe routes to school. You can actually go and look at a map of the community and see where the schools are. And you can actually click on certain intersections and that type of thing and leave comments. There have been some comments that actually, when I had to click off to come over here to this meeting tonight, they were reviewing the comments, and it would be very, very helpful if you and anybody else goes on that interactive map and go ahead and leave some comments.
And another suggestion I might have with ARPA funds is that could be a really good investment for the city, is putting in a rapid sand filter at the water plant. And that a rapid sand filter. City of Hubbard has one, and when we back flush it, you should see what comes out of it. It looks like a giant rust bath. It removes iron and manganese from your well water. And what that does is it'll cut down on how much flushing you'll be doing around the city, and it does save wear and tear on your pipes and on citizens' pipes and toilets. Not to
Change the
mention,
water taste.
it'll change, oh, definitely, definitely. But it is, it's an investment, and it'll save wear and tear on your pipes, especially since we have you know, iron pipe here in town. When we're switching over to PVC, I know a lot of the pipes have been put in nowadays are PVC, but we do have, you know, cast iron pipe. And as you know, what's it called? Electrolysis is what happens when metals start sticking to each other. And so that happens, and that rots your pipes out.
Okay. Thank you, Counselor Story. Julia,
No. I mean,
nothing going on in school,
no.
football, volleyball?
We're transitioning to winter sports. So that's pretty much it. I know playoffs are about to start next week. And I think, I know volleyball ended. And basketball and wrestling is what we're all starting out, but I can't think of anything else.
Well, that was more than I knew. So that's all I asked. Thank you very much. Let's see, mayor's report, if there's no other. Couple of things. We have been notified that, and Ray and Pete, this really touches you guys, but option 3 from the engineer has been calculated for our sewer pipe. And now with that, number 1, we can meet with the engineer and with the powers that be here in the city, and then go back out to the folks that we're negotiating with, and hopefully come up with those final things that we need to do to get it moving forward and then done next year. So it's exciting. I hope the information we get is exciting.
Was that option 3, was that the one where we were locating it behind the trees?
No, we couldn't go through there. That was kind of 2.5. We have to go across the road, then north along the side of the road and then up.
Oh, we're going down the road, the treatment plant entrance?
Yes.
Okay,
At least part way. Doesn't go a long way, but part way, and there's some issues with depth and so on. But that was the option 3. And it moves the operation fairly quickly through there, so the Guerreros are gonna have to deal with his dad and all the upset that it would cause him, so,
So we are going down the road, that's option 3.
yes.
How do you persuade the county for road closure?
I don't know.
can we get around it with using,
Flaggers?
Spruce Street or even just
Oh.
flaggers, yeah? Or I mean, we could do a traffic control plan and submit it to them.
Because the subdivision put a piece across the road and they just use flaggers, and that's what we'll be doing, so anyway, we'll hear about that. I don't know the answer to that.
Usually West Tech will come up with something. They'll probably say, we'll divert either down Dominic or Spruce.
So that's where we're at. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna be listening in. League of Oregon Cities has a deal on council and getting along with Chamber of Commerce. And so you're gonna be there too, or listening?
That's what I'm.
Okay. That's all I have. Anyone have anything for the good of the order? If not, we'll adjourn the meeting.